Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm calling my channel Hooked on Heights, but I have some stuff that I just want to basically show off. In one of my other videos, I showed off the Edelrid Omega and basically the uses of it and kind of went into a review of it. Another thing I don't really see a whole lot of reviews for are these DMM Dragons. So I'm completely new to trad. I won't pretend that I know a ton about it, but I've done a little bit of research. The reason I went with DMM Dragons is because basically DMM makes everything in-house. They're not sending stuff out to be made in China like Black Diamond does, and basically a lot of other companies as well. So DMM, they take a lot of pride in what they make, and I can just get behind that. They were a little bit more expensive, but actually on Amazon, they were only $500 compared to over $600 on other stores and stuff like that. So that's where I got them. And yeah, so far, I've just placed them around the house, but kind of wanted to go over what they look like, just some cam ASMR, I guess, and go over the size range. So I don't have a 00, which is where their Dragon-2s start, but I picked up a totem basically to replace that, and then I have the range of dragons. So the dragons, what I was surprised about, because I didn't touch these in stores, I didn't really know what exactly to expect. The main drawback, of course, that everybody talks about is the thumb loop, and in their newest version they're adding a thumb loop, but in reality this is not that bad. I don't really care for it to have one or to not have one. Basically, you're gonna get good at whatever you have is kind of my thought process on it. So no thumb loop, whatever. You can start by grabbing and then working your way up, but I've only done practice while doing some hand jams in the garage and then placing some, and they've worked good enough so far, and eventually I'm going to get out there and use them for real. But so far they've just been on some practice cracks inside of the garage. So you have this thumb press opposed to the thumb loop. It doesn't really hinder. It's still easy to grab, to be honest. And then, of course, you have this action here. So 0 in Dragon is going to be a 0.4 in Black Diamond C4s. They did match up with the colors, and then the reason I went with DMM as well is actually for this extendable sling. So the only thing is that it has this stitching, so this can't pull through the thumb holes there. So if you clip it wrong, it's going to hinder that and not extend. So basically, whenever you go to extend, you just got to make sure that you're clipping the side with the stitching and then pulling down, and then there won't be a problem there. But I went with the extendable sling because I'm planning to mainly climb in North Carolina, and everything I've researched says extenders, extenders, extenders. So I figured with an extendable sling off the cam itself, and then using an actual quick draw from sport climbing, that should be good enough. And so that is the 0, which is also 0.4. This is the 1, which is a 0.5. This is the 2, which is a 0.75. This is a 3, which is a number 1. It's got a really good snap to it. This is the number 4, which is the number 2. This is the 5, which is a number 3. So this is the standard rack. And another thing that I like about them, just comparing them to ones that, you know, are in the climbing shop, just the C4s, is it seems like the lobes are a lot thicker. The actual contact point with the rock are thicker across the board. They advertise the triple grip technology, but in reality what that means is they just have this two little slits going down each lobe. So they count it as 1 contact point, 2 contact point, 3 contact point. There's not anything drastically different as far as that goes compared to C4, but it is a little bit wider, so you are going to have more contact area. Another thing too is the braking strength on these are really good. You do have the ability to, like if it were to fall behind the crack and it's not going to mushroom out, this is rated, as well as the actual cam in camming is rated as well. And then if you guys, I'm sure everybody knows about totems, but if you don't, totems, they are the only cam that every 2 lobes is rated itself. So if you could fit just that into a little pin scar or, you know, little tiny crack, you can support just off of the one side because it's actually connected to the wires. The difference between these is basically you have to engage the whole thing because the head is connected opposed to the individual lobes being connected. Now, I want to go ahead and just show the overall length as well, because, you know, they're extendable slings, but I feel like the slings on Black Diamond are just a little bit longer maybe. So in the smallest configuration, it's going to fit on the harness a little bit tighter, a little bit neater. I do like that, but again, I wanted it for an extendable sling. So just to kind of show you the overall length once you extend it out. So from the head down to the end of the sling, it is like 16, almost 17 inches to the end of the sling. And then I have Camp Nanos on, and down to there it's about 19 inches. So the other advantage is, of course, you know, you extend out the sling and then you could just throw another quick draw on there, and then it's, you know, decently extended. And then if you throw an actual extendable sling on there, then you're going to be double extended, even better. Other things I got, just to go over a little bit more kit, is these DMM Wallnuts. Pretty basic, but I figured I'd just show them anyway. They have this little concave shape to the head, and then of course with nuts you can use them this way, you can use them this way, and the wire passes through on all these. So you know, they're just nuts. Not too much to really talk about there, but seem high quality and seem nice. So this is my mix of DMM, and then I have the one totem. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show them because they're not super common anywhere I've ever been, but they're definitely high quality. They feel great. I have really no complaints about them. And I know they are switching to the thumb loop, but the thumb loop isn't going to have the extendable sling, so I'm not really sure what they were thinking there, but you know, they know more about it than I do. But I've been happy with the thumb press. I don't really have an issue. Otherwise, again, what you use is what you're going to get good at. So I wouldn't persuade someone away from having a thumb press over a thumb loop. It's just is what it is. Sweet. That's really the main difference. If you guys have any questions or want to know anything about them, I'm happy to research with you and then, of course, find out as I go.